Ever felt like your money's got a mind of its own, running off before you can even blink? You're not alone. Now, we've all been there, haven't we? One minute, you're feeling like a billionaire after payday, and the next, you're scratching your head wondering where it all went. The culprit? The budgeting beast. It's that scary monster that gobbles up your cash faster than you can say savings. But don't you fret, because today, we're going to tame that beast. Let's face it, budgeting can be as exciting as watching paint dry. It's often seen as a restrictive chore, something that puts a leash on your financial freedom. But that's where we're wrong. Budgeting isn't about restricting your spending. No siree, it's about understanding it. It's about knowing where your money is going, so you can make sure it's working for you, not against you. Think of budgeting like training a puppy. It's going to be a bit of a struggle at first. There will be times when it feels like you're getting nowhere. But with patience, consistency, and a little bit of tough love, you'll start to see progress. Before you know it, that unruly pup, or in our case, the budgeting beast, will be sitting, staying, and rolling over on command. So what's the secret weapon in this budgeting battle? It's as simple as awareness. Being aware of where your money is going, why it's going there, and how it could be better spent is half the battle won. It's like shining a flashlight into the dark corners of your finances and saying, aha, so that's where you've been hiding. But remember, budgeting is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a personal journey, tailored to your needs, your goals, and your lifestyle. It's about finding a balance between what you want now and what you want most. So are you ready to face the budgeting beast? Because it's not as scary as it seems. In fact, with the right tools and a dash of determination, it's downright manageable. Hang tight, we're about to break this beast down into manageable parts. First things first, you can't control your money if you don't know where it's going. Picture yourself as a detective on the trail of a wild beast. But this isn't just any beast. No siree. This is the elusive money beast. It's crafty, it's sneaky, and it's got a knack for disappearing just when you think you've got a handle on it. Now, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to track this beast down and figure out where it's been hiding. The first step in any good detective story is to gather the evidence. In the case of the money beast, this means tracking your expenses. Yes, every single one of them. From that fancy latte you treat yourself to every morning, to that late-night online shopping spree when you swear you only meant to buy one thing. Every little purchase is a clue, leading you closer to understanding the habits of the money beast. Now, you might be thinking, but I know where my money is going. I'm not spending it on anything unnecessary. Well, that might be true. Or it might be that the money beast has been pulling the wool over your eyes. You see, it's not always the big, noticeable expenses that cause the trouble. More often than not, it's the small, seemingly insignificant purchases that add up over time. Like footprints in the sand, they might not seem like much on their own, but together they can lead you right to the lair of the money beast. So, become a detective. Start tracking your expenses. Look for patterns, identify your spending habits, and recognize where there's room for improvement. It might seem like a chore at first, but trust me, understanding where your money is going is the first step towards mastering your budget. And remember, this isn't about depriving yourself of your favorite things. It's about making conscious decisions, having control over your finances, and ultimately taming the money beast. Once you've tracked the beast down, you're ready for the next step. Now that you've got the beast in your sights, where do you want it to go? Let's talk about setting financial goals. It's like telling your money where to march, honey. Without a destination, your dollars might end up wandering off, maybe to the land of impulse buys and late-night online shopping. We don't want that, do we? Imagine you're saving up for a weekend getaway. Picture it. You're lounging by the pool, sipping a drink with one of those cute little umbrellas. That vision is your goal. Or perhaps you're wrestling with the alligator known as student loans. Your goal is to pin that gator down and pay it off. Having clear, defined goals gives your money a purpose and makes budgeting a whole lot easier. So whether it's a tropical escape or taming the student loan gator, setting financial goals is a crucial step. With a destination in mind, we're ready to wrangle the beast. All right, it's time to put a leash on this beast. You've faced it, you've tracked it, you've set your goals, and now we tame it. Now we create our budget. First things first, we're going to allocate our income. Now you might be thinking, well, that sounds about as fun as a root canal. But stick with me here, because it's going to be a lot more fun than that. Promise. So let's break down our income into three main categories: needs, wants, and savings. Needs are those must-haves, the things you can't live without. We're talking rent or mortgage, groceries, utilities, transportation. Basically anything that makes you say, yeah, I kind of need that to survive. Next up, we've got wants. These are the fun things, the treat yourself moments. This might be the latest tech gadget, a fancy dinner out, or that pair of shoes that's been calling your name from the store window. We all have them, and it's okay to indulge a little. But remember, it's all about balance. And that brings us to savings. This is the money you put aside for your future. It could be for something specific, like a new phone or a vacation, or it could be for something more general, like an emergency fund or retirement. Okay, so you've got your three categories. Now it's time to divide up your income. A common method is the 50-30-20 rule. That's 50% of your income for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings. But remember, this is just a guideline. You can adjust these percentages to what works best for you and your goals. And here's a little humor to keep things light. Ever notice how your bank account is like an onion? When you open it, it makes you cry. But remember, that's why we're here. We're turning those tears into cheers, one budget at a time. And there you have it, a budget that'll keep your money beast in check. Now that you've got your budget, the trick is to keep the beast on its leash. Sticking to a budget can feel a bit like wrestling an alligator in a mud pit. It's slippery, tricky, and there's a chance you might get bitten. But fear not, we've got some strategies to keep you and your budget on dry land. First, you've got to resist the siren call of sale items. You know, those little devils that whisper sweet nothings like 50% off or buy one, get one free. Just because something is on sale doesn't mean you need it. If it's not in your budget, it's not in your shopping cart. Simple as that. Now let's talk about splurges. We all have them. Those moments of weakness when we buy something we probably shouldn't. Maybe it's a fancy dinner out, a pair of designer shoes, or that high-tech gadget you've been eyeing. When this happens, don't beat yourself up. Instead, adjust your budget to account for it. You might need to tighten your belt in other areas, but remember, this is not a punishment. It's an adjustment. And speaking of adjustments, your budget should be flexible, like a yoga instructor, not rigid, like a wooden plank. Life is unpredictable, and your budget needs to be able to roll with the punches. If your income changes, or your expenses go up or down, adjust your budget accordingly. Remember, the goal of a budget is not to restrict you, but to empower you. It's a tool that allows you to take control of your money, rather than letting your money control you. So, if you need to make changes, make them. If you need to cut back in some areas to allow for more spending in others, do it. And finally, don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Stuck to your budget for a whole week? That's a win. Saved up for something you really wanted without going into debt? That's a big win. Remember, a budget's not a prison, it's a tool to help you and your money beast reach your goals. Woo! We've covered a lot today, haven't we? Let's take a quick jaunt down memory lane, shall we? We kicked off our journey by squaring up to the budgeting beast, acknowledging that budgeting isn't a monster, but a crucial part of our financial journey. Then, we delved into the nitty-gritty of understanding where our money is going. Remember, folks, awareness is the first step towards change. Next, we hopped onto the goal-setting wagon, because what's a journey without a destination, right? We then moved on to the essential task of creating a budget. And no, it doesn't involve any magic potions, just simple math. Finally, we emphasize the importance of sticking to your budget and adjusting it as needed. Because as we all know, life is full of surprises. So there you have it, folks. Taming your money beast might not be easy, but with these steps, it's certainly doable. Until next time, happy budgeting.